All right, what's happening, loungers? I appreciate everybody that it will come in and catch this replay. We are not going to be very long tonight. Appreciate you, Stephanie Collins, for being in the building. Listen, guys, let's go ahead and get into this real quick. And the only reason I'm doing this tonight is because I probably won't be able to go live tomorrow. Okay, so, but I definitely wanted to touch base on this. I did also look over the paperwork in Pacer today. I was trying to pull it up this evening, but for some reason, I'm going to have to contact Pacer because my account was locked out. And I think it's because of I have two different Pacer accounts, and I think they were just misconstrued. So I'm gonna call them tomorrow and have them combined. That way I don't have to worry about it. And the only reason that that happened is because I forgot the password for the other one. So I just created a new one. But I guess because it has the same demographics, they're like, this is a duplicate account. So that's ended up what happened. So I'll call them tomorrow and get that unlocked, which I've got to do because I've got a couple other cases that I was looking at. One of them being a bankruptcy case that AAS went through that did make it to the federal level. So I wanted to bring that up too. And I wanted to make sure when I bring that up, that I'm able to do that for you guys. So I'll be calling Pacer sometime, probably tomorrow, so that I can get that cleared up with them, and then we'll go from there. But either way, I wanted to go over this situation because I did listened in on a couple of content creators today who were talking about this quote unquote win of Larry Reid's, and I was pretty interested in what the paperwork had said, and I wanted to go look for myself, and I did take a look at it. And it turns out that there was a lot of word salad in that paperwork. And we're going to get into that tonight. And also, what all this actually means, and kind of what this looks like now. Okay. So we're going to get into this right away. But again, we're not going to be long. So you guys hit the like button while we are getting ready to get into these hot topics. All right, shout out to y'all for coming in this late at night. You guys know I don't usually be live this late, but I decided to do this again because I probably will not have time tomorrow to do all this. And I wanted to do this while it was hot, okay? So basically, to make a long story short, on on May 15th, the judge that is presiding over the case between Larry Reid and Daryl Moore did in fact rule in favor of Larry Reid regarding this civil case between the two of them. Okay. Now, it wasn't that he actually, quote unquote, won. Okay. And I think this is where people are getting this misconstrued. And we're going to break this down. Okay. What it is back in when they decided to settle together on this case, as opposed to allowing this case to go to trial, right? Which, if I were being accused of such a thing, I would want this to go to trial, right? I would want the person who is accusing me to prove that that's true. Okay. I would not want to settle with this person. I wouldn't care about their finances or any of that. If I would bring them that far to sue them for this, then I most definitely would follow all the way through with that. Okay. Particularly if I wanted to clean up my background and my history. And I didn't want people to think, I was doing these kinds of things, okay, that Larry has been accused of. So ultimately speaking, these two men decided to settle out of court, okay, and they had, decided that neither one would talk about the other. They would not put up videos of each other, and they wouldn't, use other people to do it, and so forth and so on. There was a few stipulations in there, okay, and it turns out, based off of their decision together that they made, right, that, Larry Reid was able to prove to the court that Daryl had allegedly violated these things. Okay. How he was able to prove that, I can't really say. All I know is he was able to prove to the court that Daryl Moore actually violated a lot of these things that were in this court order. Okay. Now, I'm coming from a place of unbiased. I'm not taking sides with this situation or anything. I'm just speaking from a place of what I'm seeing, okay, and how this looks from a public perspective, okay, and somebody who's not friends with either one of them, okay. So, how this looks, okay, and it really looks crazy, and it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, it looks crazy because like I said, the situation wasn't fully carried through to begin with, right? Like when they were first in court, and Larry had the opportunity to allow this case to go fully through. I've heard a couple of rumors about, him feeling sorry for Daryl Moore and his finances and all these things, and he can't afford this and that. Well, if that was the case, then I would assume he wouldn't take him to court at all. You know what I mean? Like if it were me and this person just couldn't afford court and it was really like that, I probably wouldn't want to take them to court at all. But I get it. Perhaps, that being the devil's advocate, you can say, well, this would kind of get this man off his back, right? If he did take him to court. So he did. He took him to court and they ended up settling, which doesn't look too good on Larry's part. Okay. But ultimately, they did. They agreed to the settlement. And allegedly, according to the judge, Daryl Moore has violated that settlement on multiple occasions, okay, according to the judge. So, and I guess according to evidence that was presented to the court. So, either way, okay, the judge ordered he ordered Daryl Moore to pay a whopping total of $745, okay, in fines, okay, over this situation. And he had 30 days to pay that, as well as take down any videos that he has made since then, that reference Larry Reid. I personally have been watching Daryl Moore, and I have not seen these videos. I don't know what they're talking about, where these videos, exist. Perhaps Daryl made them and I wasn't aware of it, right? But I haven't seen these alleged videos that Daryl has made talking directly about Larry Reid. I've seen him talking about breaking the culture. I've seen him talking about conscious TV. I've seen him talk about other people, but I have not seen him directly talking about Larry Reid. I've heard him reference some things in regards to the situation, but not him himself. Okay. So I'm not quite sure. I could be wrong. It's possible that happened. But again, this is the ruling that came from the court. So I don't think that's necessarily the biggest issue, right? I think the biggest issue is that also when I was in Pacer and I was looking up this case and I was looking at the final outcome of the case, I was also looking at the Levontre Andrews case that Larry Reid had sued Levontre over just a few months ago, back in December, okay, when Levontre Andrews had come forward and said that he had been molested as a child by Larry Reid, as a teenager by Larry Reid, okay. I think everybody knows that story. It's not, something that's under the rug. Millions of people have heard this story by now. And if you haven't heard it, you can go ahead and take a look out there for it. But ultimately, Levontre Andrews was interviewed by Tasha K and with Kibi Studios, and he did a tell-all on what happened with Larry Reid in a 3-part series. To make a long story short, those videos are still available. I have spoken on those videos. I have a few of those videos still on my channel. There's multiple other content creators who have spoken on this, and nobody has been served any paperwork, right? And it's because all of us have been going off of what Levontre had actually said, right? It's not like, we were making this up or we were just kind of bringing stuff out of the sky. We were going off of what Levontre was saying and Larry was actually saying, right? Like Larry admitted to a lot of things that happened between the two. He never actually said he molested this young man, but he most definitely made it, clear that he had been alone with him multiple times and that other things had happened that were very questionable. Okay. Let's be real and let's be honest about those things. Okay. We all know that all of that happened. And in all of that, Larry had started to threaten to sue Tasha K and threaten Levontre Andrews. Okay. But yet he did start that process. He went in and he had Levontre all in the paperwork. He was talking about what was going on. It was kind of, weird, some of the wording that was in the paperwork. And once I get into Pacer, I'll pull this up for you guys if you haven't seen it. But either way, he literally went through this whole process with him about, trying to sue him for this stuff, just to turn around and quote unquote dismiss the case about 2 months later over quote unquote jurisdiction issues. Okay. Claiming that they had intended to refile this case in the proper jurisdiction. Well, guys, it is now May 18th. Okay. This was back in December. All right. May 18th. Now, and this was in December that he claimed that they had filed this motion to dismiss so that they can file this in the proper jurisdiction. This has not been done yet. Not yet, guys. This man has not lifted, his attorneys or anybody has not lifted a finger to sue Tasha K or to sue Levontre Andrews. So what I can't understand is how Larry Reid's attorneys have so much time on their hands to go after Daryl Moore for a whopping $745, okay, or whatever the amount is, about $700 some dollars. They got all the time in the world to go after Daryl Moore, who is not accusing him of molesting him, okay? He only interviewed men who accused Larry Reid of such behavior. Okay, that's all Daryl Moore did. Okay. Now I know that they've had their back and forths. I know that there has been a lot of kerfuffles between the two, parties and between their camps and different things like that. We don't have to get into all that. But the bottom line is he is not suing, he is not accusing Larry Reid of molesting him. Okay. Where he has to prove something in court that is factual. It is Levontre Andrews, what you guys see that I have on this screen, that accused Larry Reid, along with two other people that accused Larry Reid of the same thing. Yet Larry's attorneys don't have any smoke for them. Tasha K is a pretty big place, right? We know that, Kibi Studios is a pretty big thing. We understand that she's going through what she's going through with Cardi B, but clearly she hasn't batted an eye to that because Tasha's still going live. She's still doing her thing. She's still getting her bread. She's still doing, what she's doing. Why haven't we gone after Kibi Studios, right? How come we're not going after the big wigs in this situation that might actually get you paid if it turns out these are lies, right? Because if they were lies and if it was, everybody was lying, I'm not understanding why we're so concerned about $745, whereas we're not concerned about this person not only speaking on YouTube about this situation, but can write a tell-all book, can go out here in the world and have conversations on CNN, have conversations with Today, have conversations with all kinds of, once they get a hold of this story, they would most definitely want to hear this story. Bigger bloggers than Tasha K. Why wouldn't you want to stop the source where it's at, from the source itself, if this isn't true? This is what I don't understand about this case. And this is why I would love to see people just stay out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to need Larry Reid's supporters who really do love Larry to literally leave this alone because it's making him look worse. Like, it really is. I can't understand. And people who have critical thinking minds would not understand why he's suing Daryl Moore, okay, and willing to go after Daryl Moore and fight Daryl Moore when Daryl Moore is not the issue. The issue is Levontre Andrews is accusing Larry Reid of sexual misconduct when he was a child. That is what Levontre Andrews is accusing Larry Reid of. Larry Reid has not cowered away from knowing him, has not cowered away from being alone with him, being in compromising situations with him. He has not cowered away from that stuff. He also even went as far as filing paperwork on him to sue him in court, just to turn around and, like I said, say, we are going to go and file this in the proper quote unquote jurisdiction. And it's been 6 months. 6 months. And within that 6 months' time, your lawyers picked up their fingers and they went and decided to go after Larry, to go after Daryl Moore. They've been watching all of his videos, checking everything he say, every time he takes a shit, every time he piss, every time he goes and eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Your lawyers know about that, but y'all don't have nothing, no smoke at all for Tasha K, and no smoke at all for the very person who is accusing Larry Reid of this, which is Levontre Andrews. And Levontre is still wide open with no restraints to be able to continue having this conversation everywhere. That is my question for Larry. I can't understand that. And for his supporters who are fighting this battle for Larry, where Larry is even saying he's getting more. I saw Larry say today, he gets more updates on YouTube than he does from his attorneys. Larry said that. Larry's not even hearing these updates from his own attorneys. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm going to need the friends of Larry to just fall back and to just let the universe do what it do. At the end of the day, if he's right, it's going to come out in the wash. If he's wrong, that also is going to come out in the wash. But what you don't want is to be on the wrong side of that in case it comes out against your favor. And that's just all I got to say. I'm not, again, taking sides. I can't say who did what. I can't say it's true because I wasn't there. This man could very well be lying, right? I don't know. All I know is Larry is not suing the source. That's what I do know. I know it couldn't take that long for these attorneys to figure out the jurisdiction that they would need to file this in, okay? I don't understand why it's not done yet. Particularly because Tasha K was in Georgia at the same goddamn time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not sure why the jurisdiction wouldn't be there. I'm not, I'm not an attorney, so I could be wrong. All I'm saying is it's been 6 months. 6 months. Are we all supposed? And guess what? I'm going to tell you, we probably would have forgot about it, right? If it wasn't for Larry Reid's friends trying to force down our throats that Daryl Moore has somehow lost this case. No, he's going, the settlement that they had over this case because Larry decided he did not want to continue and go all the way through with this case, right? He decided to settle along with Daryl. Daryl has violated, allegedly. So if that is the case, Daryl has to face that, okay? That is just something that's going on. But that does not mean that Larry is off the hook and Larry, nothing happened and everything's over. Because if that's the case, again, where is the same energy for the very person who is actually accusing you of this? Like, where is that energy? How come your attorneys have not sued this person yet? Why? Why? That's just my thoughts. That's my question on it. You ain't got to fucking like what I said, but I meant what I said because it's facts and it's true. No, it is $745, and I'm definitely going to go and take a look. I wish I can pull that shit up and paste it tonight, but I'm not able to do it. But let me go ahead and get into the comments, guys. I wish I can show y'all this, but I promise you, I did look at it. Now, CTV was looking over it. He has a copy of it on his page as well. Y'all can most definitely go over to CTV's page and see that amount that Larry Reid has to pay. And he has 30 days to pay it. Okay? $745 fucking measly fucking dollars over this case. That's all he owes. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Karma52? I appreciate you being in the building. You said, hey, T Pre and Steph C. You said, hello, Lady Karma52. You said, wait, I know you are used to dealing with money and documents related to money, but are you sure? I am 100,000% sure. I am 100,000% sure. It's funny because I just had it on my screen and I was trying to pull it up again. And that's when I got locked out of Pacer. And it was so fucked up. I wish there was somebody that could pull that up right now, though. But I have to wait until tomorrow because you got to call them between a certain amount of hours. But as soon as I do, when I get that, I might just show you guys that before we go over the AAS stuff on Sunday. I might just show you guys what this paperwork says. It is so ridiculous that this, it is ridiculous. They would spend that kind of money just for this man to have to pay only $745 in a fine, okay, for violating this settlement agreement. Literally. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You said $745 and change. Girl, I'm telling you, not $7,550, not $74,000. Nope, it was $745, child. You said Larry not refiling. It was all cap. Okay. That's the way it seemed. I'm not saying it was. I don't know, but that's the way it seemed, considering it's been 6 months. 6 months? What? Your attorneys got all this time and energy for Daryl Moore, and they don't got no time for Levantre? Like, what? What? What is going on here? Something ain't clean in the milk. You said, T Pre, I am about to drop you some intel. Larry only filed a lawsuit against Levantre to expose his legal name and force him out of anonymity. Wow. That's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. If that is true, that is bananas and fucking crazy. Hey, what you gonna do about it? I appreciate you being in the building. You said peace, Miss T Pre and Chatters. You said his attorneys lost money on that deal. That's empty-headed lawyering right there. Yeah, exactly. Like, do y'all understand like the weirdness of all of this? You know, while everybody's hyped up talking about he won what? $745? Like, you can't be serious. And the $745 is literally a fine, guys. A fine, okay? A fine, that's all. And he has to take down whatever these alleged videos are, where I haven't seen these videos. Unless Daryl Moore has another channel somewhere, I don't know what they're talking about. I know of 2 of his channels, and neither one of the channels that I've seen, he's talking about Daryl. He's talking about Larry Reid. I haven't seen a single one. I've seen him talking about breaking the culture. I've seen him talking about CTV. I've seen him talk about Knockout Media, but I don't see him talk about Larry Reid. So maybe there's something I'm missing somewhere, but I ain't seeing that. Mm-mm. You said that's bananas level idiotic lawyer. Oh, I'm just saying, Steph. That shit is crazy, right? Like, why would you not want to sue Levantre? Why would you want to sue Daryl? Because he's speaking on it? I'm speaking on it too. So multiple content creators speaking on it. But we're only talking about what Larry said and what Levantre said. You know what I'm saying? This is fair use. We're allowed to comment on what these people are talking about and what's going on. You know what I mean? And allegedly and you know, and make sure that, you know, we're saying that and so forth, because we don't know. It might be true, it might not. We don't know. But it sure looks crazy that you're not suing the person that's accusing you of this shit, but you're willing to go and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just for this man to pay $745 in fines. Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all I know I have a case number for this too. So I'll leave a case number. If I don't leave it in my like I said, I'm gonna get back into Pacer so I can show you guys this paperwork, because you guys got to be able to see this. So I'll be back in there tomorrow, and if I get a chance to look at it or come live tomorrow, I will show you guys this, okay? Because I want you guys have to see this. This is crazy. But again, you can go over to CTV. He most definitely showed the paperwork, okay? And on the paperwork, Again, there is a whopping $745 that Daryl Moore has to pay. Whoop-de motherfucking do. I'm pretty sure his members or his Patreon would be able to pay that. I'm not sure, how they thought that was going to hurt this man. Like, I just found that absolutely fucking bananas. But yeah, we're going to go ahead. And like I said, if I can get back into that by tomorrow and I can come live, I will show you guys that paperwork. You said, peace, what you going to do about it? And I am human first. Peace, Karma 52. Hi, Karma. You said, hello, Uncle Al, and I am human. What's up, TCTV? This is ridiculous. Okay? Like, are we kidding or are we kidding? Like, what's really going on here? You said, hey to Stephanie. Listen, guys, I'm out of here. I just had to share that information with y'all. Truly appreciate y'all for being in the building. Make sure that y'all do hit the like button for a sis. And guys, we'll talk about this tomorrow. If y'all want to look it up, you don't even need a case number. You can just look him up by Larry Reid. If any of y'all have Pacer, you can look him up by Larry Reid, okay? And it will come up. Levantre's case is in there, and Daryl Moore. It's Reid versus Moore, okay? And it's in Ohio. It's in Ohio, Northern Ohio District or Northern District or something like that. But it's in Ohio. And the case with Levantre is in North Carolina, okay? You guys can go take a look at this shit for yourself. And again, you do not need a case number. All you need is their names. So it's Reid versus Andrews and Reid versus Moore. It is plain as day. And you can look at any of this paperwork. And child, you're going to see what the fuck this paperwork says. And you're going to be just as disgusted as I fucking am. All right? But look, I appreciate all of you for being in the building once again. You said, hi, Steph. You said, and they don't even get that money. It's a fine for contempt. Yes. Do you see how stupid this is? Do you see how dumb this stuff is? Like, it's just some people that really just don't need to speak on this situation, because every time they think this is some kind of win, they don't realize how much of a L this shit is for Larry. Like, they don't get how much of a loss this is for Larry, how stupid this is making Larry look. Like, it's making him look real bad right now. I don't know if they understand it. I think they thought, yay, judgment in my favor means some kind of win. It's not a win, okay? It was bad enough that Larry decided to settle in the first place, okay? After he was being accused, he decided to settle in the first place, okay? For no monetary gain or anything. He was just like, yeah, just take the videos down. I ain't going to talk about you. You don't talk about me. And we just move on. Huh? Okay. Right. And then, Larry's like, Daryl's like, okay, we can do that. And it turns out other motherfuckers is talking about this man, right? Other motherfuckers is bringing this shit up. Bishop Whitehead, Tasha K, all these people. Now Tasha K decides to actually interview the victim, right? The alleged victim. And the alleged victim is speaking up. His brother comes out, speaks on this stuff. His mom comes out and speaks on this stuff. And you don't got no smoke for none of these people. Your lawyers don't even know. They don't even know where the jurisdiction is to sue them. Boy, bye. I'm over that. Okay. I'm going to need him to most definitely get that together. You said, I don't watch any of these people. Just stop by because I saw you was live. Child, I don't be watching the motherfuckers either, but I'm just letting you know. I have followed that particular case. And yeah, that shit is fucking nuts. Okay. But what we not going to do is these fucking optical illusions and these wins and he won and all this stuff. He ain't win shit. The court won $745. That's what happened. All right. But I'm going to talk to y'all later. I appreciate y'all and peace, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You guys will probably see me next when we go over AA Mess's bullshit. And that is going to be one of the longest videos, guys. Hold on. I do want to talk about one thing before I go. Shout out to Clark, because she gave me a bombshell on what happened with Loyal from Carbonation earlier. And I just wanted to bring that up because this was crazy. And I have a lot of other people that aren't in the sector that have been watching that video and commenting on that video. So shout out to other people and the new subscribers to the channel. But let me go ahead and show you guys a comment that Clark said that really struck me. Hold on, there's another comment. And shout out to this person. It says, since Loyal actually passed in March, if anything, if Loyal was one that had the camera, I think it is more likely that maybe they found out about his death, therefore, then felt now they can search and seize the camera. Again, if he was the one that had the camera and evidence. Yeah, that's something to think about. And shout out to Gold Pony 85. I appreciate that. Let me go over to Clark's message. Oh no, that was for another channel. That was for another video. Hold on. Okay, she said, I wanted to ask you, this was regarding the video I did earlier on Loyal from Carbonation. She said, I wanted to ask you if you saw that. Apparently, his social media was scrubbed as well. Very sad. So that was really shocking. I said, oh, wow. And then somebody else said, dang. And then somebody else said, mad suspicious. Some are leaving for Mexico. So there's some, allegedly, there's some former Carbonation members that are actually fleeing the country and trying to get up out of here right now, but they don't know what's going on. Okay. This is really, really, really serious. And I'm concerned. I was talking to my kids about it, just, kind of venting about it. Because this young man was my son's age, and, it's just ridiculous what happened to him and the short life that he lived and the sad life he lived over there at Carbonation, what he went through over there in that cult, and to come out and to be, to have faced his demise after the prosecution is looking for additional evidence in that case. That is scary. That's really fucking scary. And I wish them all well. I hope that they'll be fine. I hope they'll be safe. Now that there's so much light on this, I'm not sure if somebody would be as stupid to do something to to another member, but we don't know, right? We don't know, especially the ones that are whistleblowing all over Nature Boy right now. Because all of them are, well, not all of them, but there's a lot of them that are. And that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm concerned about those women, those vulnerable girls, those vulnerable women. I'm very concerned about their health and very concerned about their safety. But we'll see what happens. But either way, guys, I'm out of here. Again, I will show you guys that Pacer paperwork once I get a hold of it. Once I can get Pacer back unlocked again. But I will talk to you guys later. Truly appreciate you guys for coming in. And peace, guys. Thank you guys again for watching. Hit the like button, guys.